All right, we're on to dumb gun control argument number 2. This has popped up a lot lately, but it's been making the rounds for quite a few years here. I'm going to play a Chris Rock routine that shows you that even he was talking about this back in the day. The argument is that we can tax ammunition so high that gun owners no longer can afford it, and then they'll have to get rid of their guns and we'll all live happily ever after. There's only a few problems with that idea, and I'm going to talk about those today. Hello out there. I am trying to get through.
With his powerful brainwaves cradled in the warmth of reasoning, it's time for Johnny Walker Dread to straighten you out on a thing or two. Emanating all the way from exciting Las Vegas, Oklahoma, it's the Johnny Walker Dread Show.
So I thought I'd go back to Twitter again. This is where you find all the dumb arguments. All I had to do was just type in ammo tax, and here they come. Actually, this first one here makes some pretty good points. If you wanted to make sure fewer black folks had guns, you'd take advantage of demographic differences. For example, black folks tend to live in bigger cities, so have strict control in big cities. On average, black folks have less money, require insurance, tax ammo. Gun control is racist. He makes some pretty good points there, but let's go ahead and move on to the more interesting stuff. Well, I didn't mean to make it sound like that was not interesting. All right, here we go. Andy Fox steps to the plate and says, "Don't worry, the NRA promises that guns don't kill, only people kill." Whatever. So you don't need your guns for self-defense. Okay, I don't quite catch that one. Just get a knife, axe, or machete. No, I'll get whatever I think I need. Thank you very much. Ban magazines with greater than 10 capacity. Tax ammo. Okay, so here we go with the tax ammunition deal. Okay, so Peter Frost, he steps up and says, tax the hell out of and track ammo purchases. And this person wants to ban assault weapons and more comprehensive background checks. That'll be another one, by the way, coming down the pike. And increase taxes on guns and ammo. That's at a minimum. Oh, man, he's demanding here. Dude, you're not in a position to be too demanding. Here's an interesting take on it. Bingo. Money is the key to this whole, well, I won't say it. Gun and ammo manufacturers have been screaming, they're going to take your guns. They're going to put a tax on ammo since Obama. People rush out and buy both, leading to shortages, and prices go up. That's true. Very simple. Increase the taxes on guns and ammo to pay for universal mental health care and make people register their guns, like the military does. The military registers its guns? Was never in the military. Couldn't tell you. Tax the ammo big time. Require insurance policies on all weapons. I'm going to cover that one in the next dumb gun control argument. That one's really stupid, but okay. Solution. The Constitution says nothing about ammo, so pass laws restricting ammo and tax it heavily. Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about here today. The 2A doesn't say diddly about ammo. Keep your guns, bear them, just restrict how much it can fire. Okay, and of course this is part of his taxing ammo deal. This one here, that's the dumbest shit that I've heard yet. You are talking all around the problem. Raise the age, close the loopholes, and ban the sale of assault weapons. Tax the ammo. I'm a well-trained infantryman. As soon as they say crap like that, I just tune them out. Let's move on. Don't be telling me how many years you were in the service or how many weapons you own. Makes no difference. A person who owns a lot of weapons that wants to take away my rights is worth no more to me than the average person. Register, license, and mega tax ammo and every related piece of gear. Here, make ammo crazy expensive. So you see the idea. Raise the tax on ammo so high that people cannot afford it, and therefore they can't exercise their right to the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment says nothing about bullets, so we can restrict ammo purchases, tax the hell out of bullets, and ban certain types of bullets. Same for ammo, tax it, regulate it, limit it. If the weapons can't be banned, tax ammo until it is crippling. Tax any materials used for homemade ammo, even more than manufactured, to keep people from slipping under the radar. Penalize the hell out of anyone using anything more powerful than a pistol or a single-shot rifle. I wonder if they're considering the Desert Eagle in that. And I'll finish off with this one here. How much are taxes on weapons and ammo? I'm assuming they are already being taxed. Place an evil tax on weapons and ammo. The tax should be high enough to compensate the families of those killed by a weapon. Let's start small, like $10 million per person killed. That's small? Oh, man. The average negligent liability is actually around $500,000 to $1 million, in case you're wondering. We're going to use that argument in the insurance discussion on stupid gun control debate argument number 3. So what's the problem here? Well, let's go ahead and have a little bit of fun. I'm going to play a Chris Rock episode here that kind of talks about this. I'm not going to play the entire episode, just the part that talks about the ammo tax.
You don't need no gun control. You know what you need? We need some bullet control. We need to control the bullets. That's right. I think all bullets should cost $5,000. $5,000 for a bullet. You know why? Because if a bullet costs $5,000, there'll be no more innocent bystanders. Be it. Every time somebody gets shot, you be like, damn, he must have did something. Should they put $50,000 worth of bullets in his hand? And people will think before they kill somebody if a bullet costs $5,000. Man, I would blow your fucking head off if I could afford it. I'm gonna get me another job, I'm gonna start saving some money, and you a dead man. You better hope I can't get no bullets on layaway. So even if you get shot by a stray bullet, you won't have to go to no doctor to get it taken out. Whoever shot you will take their bullet back. I believe you got my property.
So what's the problem? I mean, the Second Amendment doesn't mention anything about bullets. The answer is, it doesn't have to. We already went through this, okay? You can't make something exorbitantly expensive so that people cannot exercise a right they're entitled to. Think of it like this, a poll tax, right? You have people who want to vote, but, I have an idea. I don't want them voting, so what I'll do is I'll charge them, I'll tax them to be able to vote. There's nothing mentioned in the Constitution about that. Well, there wasn't until the 24th Amendment, but whatever the case, charging people such an exorbitant amount of money so that they can't afford to exercise their right is unconstitutional. Let's take a look at Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. Now, this concerned a family of Amish people who were selling religious literature around. They were going around from city to city and they were selling it. And a city passed an ordinance that they couldn't do that because they said, this is not freedom of religion. Because they're selling this literature, they are now doing a commercial activity. So they're engaging in commerce. And so they taxed them. And this went up to the Supreme Court. And it states here, a state may not impose a charge for the enjoyment of a right granted by the federal Constitution. Now, if the state can't do it, the feds can't do it either. So the whole idea of passing these laws that make it too expensive to exercise your right, that won't fly. Think of it in terms of also abortion. Let's suppose that a state wants to ban abortion, but let's say that the abortion is protected by the Constitution. Now, whether it will continue to be protected by the Constitution is another matter, but let's just suppose it is. Do you think that it would be okay then, though, for a state to come in and say, well, we can't ban abortion, but what we can do is just charge $5 million to anybody who wants one? Or how about this? Any of the instruments or tools used to perform an abortion, those are going to be required to be made out of pure platinum, and there's also going to be a tax on those of $200,000. The idea behind it would be to drive up the cost of abortion so high that even though it's technically still allowed, nobody can afford it. Now, if you did something like that, what do you think the left would say? What do you think the gun grabbers who want these bullets to be taxed at $5,000 a bullet, what do you think that they would say? Do you think they'd be okay with that? Like, oh, well, yeah, that makes total sense. I mean, after all, the Constitution doesn't say anything about the cost of abortion. I mean, even if you can read between the lines and see that there is a right to abortion in there, there's nothing in there about us charging lots and lots of money for the tools used to carry one out. Such an approach would be struck down. And in fact, no state has ever done that. Because they know fully well that it would be struck down as unconstitutional. Again, a state may not impose a charge for the enjoyment of a right granted by the federal Constitution. It's Murdoch versus Pennsylvania. Any kind of tax on bullets that's exorbitant. In other words, I'm not talking about a penny a bullet or 10 cents a bullet. I'm talking about a bullet tax that is so high as to dissuade people from being able to use their right to self-defense and their right to keep and bear arms is unconstitutional. And this argument is dumb. Like my video and subscribe to my channel.